Hello everyone, Maryann here from Revealing Light Tarot, Astrology and Spirituality. How are you today, wherever you are in the world when you're watching? A big shout out to you. As you can see, I'm more recovered than I have been of late. Many of you will know that I had a severe chest infection, a pneumonia-like illness after Christmas, according to my doctor, and it's taken me a while to get on top of it because I'm well, it's not mild asthma that I have; it's severe asthma. So it's always an issue when I get like that. But I've taken the downtime, and I am going forward with new preventative medicine inhaler that's working really well for me. So fingers crossed. Fingers crossed I'm over the worst of it. Anyway, how is the new year treating you? I hope that you're doing well. And for those that are struggling with any sort of issue, I hope that it's resolving for you. At the very least, that you can step back and start to think about your needs and the you and how you're going to go forward in 2024, because we've had a very profound shift taking place. For those that aren't aware, Pluto has moved. Well, it's the 22nd here in Australia, has moved into Aquarius, from Capricorn into Aquarius. This is where it will stay, apart from a regression around the US elections. Unfortunately, I'll do another video on that, where it will stay until for the next 40 years. So profound shift. I don't know if you've felt it, depending on which house this is hitting you, zodiac house this is hitting you. And I may even look at that later on in the week if I've got the energy to go through each of the sun signs and see where Pluto is hitting you. For me, it's hitting my third house of communication. I already have Pluto and Uranus in the third house along with the north node. So this is, I'm feeling it. It's like you assess something and you can assess it at the superficial level, but Pluto takes you down and makes you down to the deeper levels, and enables you to almost think profoundly about certain things. Well, that's the impact that it's had on me, given it's hitting my third house. But anyway, how is Pluto? Can you feel the shift? Because I can. Let's look at some of the astrology for today. We have the Sun conjunct Pluto, of course, as I've said, because it's traveling with Pluto for the time being, and it was or is, depending on where you are in the world, exact with the Sun. And this is like, the Sun is the center of our universe, of our solar system. And this is absolutely illuminating. And maybe that's why I'm feeling so profound at this time, because this is illuminating those issues that in a way, in a deeper way, perhaps than what we've been used to looking at things. For the wider global world, this is about illumination. And wherever you look, there around the globe, there are things going on that are profound. In Germany, for example, the far right, we had protesting, and then we had counter-protesters of Germans protesting en masse, huge protests against the far right in Germany. And so it was a real pushback by the people against extremism. I did say I wasn't going to use labels. I apologise. There was a huge protest in Germany against extremism. Let that sink in. We have protests all around the world saying enough is enough. Enough children have died in Gaza. Enough innocent civilians have died in Gaza. There must be another way. We have all this coming out about the Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu supporting, financially aiding, supporting, directing aid to Hamas over the years. A long time, to prevent a two-state solution developing, to weaken the Palestinian PLO on the West Bank, keep them separate, then there will be less chance of a two-state solution coming forward. He's come right out and said to Biden, no two-state solution. Now we have Israelis protesting en masse in their own country against this Prime Minister. So wherever you look, even though you may be, they want hostages home. They want hostages home. And October 7th has been months away, much loss of life. And Israelis cannot see an end to this any more than Palestinians can. So people are using their voice, and they will continue to do that. It's very, very heartening for me to see. And in the US, we have this huge pushback against extremism. Now, I want to say to you, this is probably news that you've already consumed, but just for those that don't know, in Iowa, there are 719,000, thanks to the viewer that pointed this out, registered Republicans. Trump garnered 51, something like that, over 50,000 Republican votes out of 719,000 that didn't show up to the caucuses, that just didn't show. What does that tell you about his so-called landslide win? And we don't see these things talked about in the mainstream media. And that's very, very sad, because they are most interested in pushing, I should say, 45, X45. Well, no, he is 45 for the time being. Pushing that barrow in order to get the views in. Okay, Sun conjunct Pluto. Many things are becoming obvious to us. Mercury conjunct Mars. This is a good time for saying what you need to say in a way that doesn't offend. So this is very, very good for communicating your needs. Perhaps the Sun conjunct Pluto is reflecting and illuminating those needs that you have that maybe you've been putting on the back burner. Venus squaring Neptune. Venus is all about love, the relationships we have with others, the love of the self. Squaring Neptune, this is about getting real about your relationships, because how can you meet your own needs when you're blind to how little others are paying heed to them? Perhaps it's the opposite of that. Is there give and take? Are you giving, or are you taking, or is there an equal flow? So these are all good issues to ponder at this time. Mars squaring Chiron, and of course, wherever you come out, you will see that this all tracks back to Chiron is the wounded healer. Mars is illuminating where the wound is, and you know that Rumi saying that the crack is where the light gets in. So let the light in. That's what Mars is urging at this time. That is the challenge of this day. And we have Jupiter sextiling Saturn. It's good time to do the work. Do the work in whatever area that you need to do it in. And for some, that's working on their joyfulness. Well, for me, it's about working on my joyfulness, on my spiritual joy, that deep and abiding feeling that removes us from the vicissitudes of life, the worries of life, and allows us to step back and objectively see the beauty in everything. So I did want to say that as the new year begins, I feel like this Pluto in Aquarius is a brand new chapter, and I wanted to mark that today. Now let's get on to the political readings. Okay, so there's a few things I want to do today. The DC Appeals Court, I don't know, have they handed their, in the time that I've been on the computer doing this reading, have they handed down their finding? They are taking a little bit more time than what we have expected. This is the DC ruling on 45s. I just No, I think I'll just call him the ex-president. The ex-president's immunity. The question of immunity. Now, he's put forward an appeal to say, I am immune. This is any actions I took around January the 6th and before and afterwards, I did as president, and I'm immune. Okay, so remember, this is up to the 20th, the inauguration of the new president. But this argument's not flying. It's quite bizarre, according to legal experts. Well, you know all that background. Let's see what the DC court is finding. I certainly found that he isn't immune. And if it does go to the Supreme Court, they're not going to find that he's immune from criminal activity as president. No way. Let's see where the DC court stands on this. I don't think I've asked this question before. Will the DC court find that Trump is immune? No, he's standing. He's basically on the dock, getting into a boat, and he is alone at sea in that boat. And this fits very much with my readings that 2024 is the year of the complete downfall of the ex-president. All right, so show me, will the DC court find that Trump is immune from criminal prosecution? Will the DC Court of Appeals find that Trump is immune from criminal prosecution? There's a spotlight on something. They're spotlighting some particular part of the law. So their judgment is... you could have heard about it, because that's saying that there's news coming, and it's coming now, like day, 2 days, whatever, if it's not happening today. Yeah, so we get movement on this. So this is telling me that you're going to get your answer very, very soon. We get the Strength card as the foundation of the reading. In the past, we get the Money here. Isn't that interesting? He has admitted to taking $7.8 million and has said they might even raise that. Which would be very interesting. And he's said publicly that, of course, he was entitled to that money from China and Saudi Arabia and various others because he did work for them while he was the President of the United States. Okay, so we get the Eight of Pentacles in the sky. So they're going to make distinctions between what is the actual work and role of the president and what is... this is basically the distinction between legality and illegality, criminal illegality. Now we get, here's the boat and the water moving away from troubled waters. We get in the here and now, we get restriction. So they're definitely in their judgments going to be putting, it is a very considered judgment. It's not something, that's why they're taking their time. They need to distinguish between when they're immune and when they're not. But there are going to be restrictions, and that is the truth of it. What is legal and what is illegal, and very much a question for the ex-president to look at, if he was able to look at just where the line is, but where the line is. And I think he said that, he's used that phrase, when I cross the line, I should be immune. Hopes and fears, definitely the courts here. And then we get the outcome card as the Ten of Swords, which is a no, and very, very clear no. This is complete and utter no. No. But and then we get the Devil card. Oh, my goodness me. And the Moon card. What is buried below the surface? This is the Sun and Pluto comes to the surface. And we get my card for the Democrats. It's a reunion. It's a celebration. There's also deceit there, as well as national security. They may make that point about national security and about the president using the office to enrich themselves. Watch for that judgment. It's going to be very, very, so the judgment will allow presidents to do the work that they need to do, but as far as immunity from criminal prosecution, it's a no. It's a no. And this is going to deal a fatal blow, because the Supreme Court may not even take it up. The Supreme Court might say, we affirm the DC Court of Appeals decision, which is probably, likely, a likely outcome. But no way is he immune from criminal prosecution. It just isn't going to fly. Okay, so the next question I want to look at is for my US viewers. Unfortunately, Georgia prosecutor Fani Willis has been embroiled in allegations of unethical behaviour. It's an allegation, and we know that it's coming from her lead prosecutor's wife, ex-wife, who is in a divorce proceedings with the lead prosecutor that Fani Willis employed. So the allegations, I don't even know if I need to repeat them, just impropriety. And it's since emerged that her lead prosecutor, that it's since emerged that his ex-wife has met with Trump's people. Ex-president's people. So skullduggery could well be afoot. It's certainly damaging for her, and unfortunately this is the climate that is that is in the US at this time. Alright, so let's see. Did Fani Willis... how can I put this? She's the Fulton County DA who's bringing the trumpet. You see, I'm trying not to use the word. Bringing the case against the ex-president for, it's a RICO case, a racketeering over his and others' attempts to overturn the fair result of the 2020 election. Okay, so let's take a look at... I'm just going to say, will she be okay? Will she be okay? Will she be able to stay on the case? I think that's what I want to say. Will Fani Willis be okay? Will she be able to stay on the case? So we have here, partisan, political warfare. That's basically the energy, and they're trying to restrict her. That is really sad. These are both she won't be okay, because a lot is coming at her. Now we have the Five of Pentacles. Again, this energy is pretty terrible. A lot is being directed at her. In the past, we have the Ace of Cups, emotions. Let's keep going, and we get the Page of Pentacles, suggesting that she'll probably be, potentially, she has the ability to step forward, not backwards. So that's actually good, given this energy here of abuse and sabotage. They're pulling out all stops to sabotage this case. Now we get the truth in the here and now, which is good. We will learn the truth, and we get the Empress card, abundance, a season of time. This may delay it a little bit. Let's keep going, and we get the Chariot, and the outcome card is the Ten of Swords, and the Devil again, and the Moon card. These were the same cards that came out for Trump. Sorry, ex-president. Interesting, isn't it? And I did shuffle. I'll draw clarifiers on them. We got the Star card underneath the pack. Hope, 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 hope. We get the Two of Cups, suggesting some sort of relationship, which is the allegation between her and the lead prosecutor. We get the Sun card, and we get Trump right there. This is definitely a bid to take her down. The question is there any truth in it? And so it's definitely pointing to the ex-president, and it's just what he does. Will she be able to continue on in the case? Potentially she will, but this is terrible energy. I just want to put it out there. It's horrible. Okay, will she be able to carry on in the case? So we get the Seven of Pentacles, not with the lead prosecutor, I don't think. And this is he may have to go. The Ten of Wands, heavy lifting and heavy work, and the Ten of Pentacles, and the Moon card. There's money here. There's money. I think it will emerge that I don't want to add any more slander to the situation, but you join the dots. I think it will emerge that someone's been paid. A third party has been paid. Now we get the Knight of Pentacles. Good, that's good. Consistency, but we get loss and retreat, emotions, and that devil energy again. So I'm just going to say potentially, because I want to get on to other things. Potentially she'll continue, but this is terrible energy. Terrible energy. It could be, there's a possibility that it could take her down, but I don't think so. Potentially, I just want to say she can continue, but I think the lead prosecutor's got to go. It will emerge someone's took money. Someone has taken money in order to, well, I'll just leave it at that. You join the dots. Okay. So, and, you know, yeah, I won't go any further. This is for entertainment purposes only. All right, let's move to, where do we want to go now? The US will continue to strike at the Houthis, who are sabotaging, boarding, bombing, droning, trying to prevent the passage of ships, goods and services. They've been doing this for a long time. They now say that they are doing it in protest against what's going on in Gaza. So at first it was only supplies bound for Israel. Now it's US and UK ships. They've been really targeting all ships for a very long time. Worryingly, Iran struck at Pakistan. Pakistan struck back. It is Netanyahu continues to... The hostages are still in... Well, we don't even know if they're in Gaza. Netanyahu continues to kill and maim innocent civilians en masse. That goes beyond self-defense. Wiping out Gaza is not something the world will sit by and let happen. And proportionality and the rules of engagement in war must be followed. I think had Qatar continued to broker deals, you probably would have seen the hostages come home, and then the third party go in and stabilise Gaza. So that would have been the logical process, but what is logical about this current world at this time where war and maiming and destruction and killing of innocent civilians is the way that things are done, including Hamas's attack on Israel. All right, so let's quickly go to the Houthis. What's going to happen between the US and Yemen? Will this escalate to draw in? Well, I asked that, didn't I? For the time being, although the devil was the outcome card, suggesting that this will go on for quite some time. Let's see. Let's just ask what happens. Will the Houthis back down following US continued attacks? Will the Houthis back down following? So I get boarding parties. Okay, so let's take a look. We get the Emperor card here. Sorry, the Hierophant, and then we get the Three of Wands. So, there could be a passage that there could be a. They're standing there waiting for the ships here. There could be some international law, something around. Yes, the US is bombing the Houthis, but there could be some kind of international legal case against Yemen coming up. We get justice, an interesting card. Justice always asks us to do the right thing. What is the right thing in this case? Balancing the scales. It asks you to do the right thing. It's not a broad swathe of saying that there will be justice will be done. It's about you doing the right thing. So it looks like there will be some kind of legal passage here that the US might follow. In the past, we get retreat, and then we get the Queen of Pentacles, stability. Fighting's going to continue, perhaps hand-to-hand combat. I don't know whether a party of Houthis take on US soldiers. It just shows a battle, some kind of face-to-face fighting. We get in the here and now, we get the Seven of Cups. Choices at this time are paramount. That's how important this is. It's the choices that are made that will determine whether this escalates into, draws us all in or not. And we get the Three of Pentacles. So I also feel that some of the other Arab countries will, Saudi Arabia may start to kind of dialogue. There's more likely diplomatic solutions here as well. We have the King of Cups in the hopes and fears. They definitely fear the US doing more. What is done now is quite, it's not anywhere near full scale. We get the Magician card. What are we manifesting? Yeah, it looks like largely they will control this in the way that they have done. It's not going to end anytime soon. But there's going to be an offer here to the Houthis, I think, in some way. We have the Four of Pentacles. Something via Saudi Arabia to maybe there's a pause here through kind of dialoguing, other Arab nations getting involved. So it's not all about just striking at their infrastructure, their drone launching sites there. It's also about dialoguing, and I think that's what's going to eventually occur. We have the Crossroads, we have the Ten of Pentacles, and we get the moving out of troubled waters. These are very, very heartening cards to see that this eventually will be brought into more stability. Now, the reading I wanted to do is on Princess Catherine. I know both she and King Charles have been hospitalised and undergoing various procedures, but it's Princess Catherine that I want to look at. The reason I want to look at Princess Catherine is because I just feel, for my UK viewers, my Australian viewers, I just feel something is not quite right. So being respectful and not trying to intrude. She's had major abdominal surgery. I've had that too. And it takes a long time to get beyond, a long time. And I don't feel she's been looking well for a long, long time. And I'm not sure all illness has a, this is, well, in some way or another, it is a learning experience. And so I feel that this will, again, coming as it did so close to Pluto and the Sun, moving from Capricorn, she's a Capricornian, into Aquarius. I feel that she will undergo an evolution, really. Things will never be quite the same for her again. I don't think it was planned. I think that this is something that's probably been there, simmering there for quite some time, and the urgency became apparent, and the surgery was scheduled, and so that's how the palace got around that. But I feel that they're not telling us the full picture. I feel that King Charles's announcement coming at the same time was almost to give Princess Catherine cover. I feel this is quite a serious situation. So why do we need to know this? Because she is an extremely public figure. In fact, in many ways, she, as the Princess of Wales, has been, I'm just going to say, a front runner in, I might say rehabilitating the royals' image, but she's very much admired and liked. But I feel that she has been struggling under the weight of royalty, if you like, and she's only human. So let's have a look. What can you tell me about the Princess of Wales, Catherine, that we, without prying, that being respectful, what do we need to know? There's a lot of loss here. She's lost something. She feels like she's lost something. I just see someone bent over in loss, basically. This is, as I said, it's like she's the Ten of Swords energy. It's like she's got a minefield to kind of step through in the future. And this just underscores the, I just want to say that some of this has been, what can I say? It's not exacerbated. Some of this has been made worse, if I can use that word, because of the pressure that she's under. She's very, I know she's a slight build, but she's, as I said, not been looking, I don't know, happy or well even in recent times. And as an empath and intuitive, I picked these things up. So let's take a look. What can you show us or tell us? Do we need to know about Princess Catherine's illness? She's a role model to many. Princess Catherine, what can you show me about Princess Catherine's illness? Okay, yeah, that juggling and decisions that were made. There's there's again a theme around loss, because the Two of Pentacles, you have to choose which ship you're going to bring in. I feel that this could have been actually even life-threatening for her. And there she is, the Queen of Pentacles, stability. Decisions and could have been, almost like a life-threatening decision. We have the Two of Pentacles. This is a crossroads, and again it points to decisions, burdens, and having to make a decision about, I guess, her health treatment. We get inevitability, which is really interesting in the past, almost like this had been brewing for some time and was almost inevitable. We get the King of Pentacles in the sky, Virgo, Taurus, Capricornian energy, Earth energy. Let's keep going. Looks like she'll be okay. The Knight of Cups, a lot of outpouring of love here. And we get family card in the here and now. Definitely she's being well looked after, well supported, well cared for. She has everything she needs in the Nine of Pentacles. I'm seeing her energy here, but by gosh, there was certainly a crossroads. The hopes and fears, we get the health card, the Four of Swords. I do feel this was serious enough that had she not had treatment, she could have died. I mean, I really do feel it was that serious. And we get the Eight of Swords, restriction, worry, as the outcome. She is not going to be she's going to need a lot of time in recovery. We get Seven of Wands. She will defend herself. She defend her health. She will triumph over this, but it's going to take a long recovery to regain her strength. It actually looks a little bit like her. She will need to be very gentle on herself for the time for the time being, and we get moving forward. So I do see recovery for her, but it's going to be restricted recovery. She's going to have to take, it's like almost like whatever has occurred here, her life is not going to be the same again in terms of the amount of work that she took on in the past. We get in the Four of Pentacles talks about being like an insecurity. She's wondering how she's going to do things in the future. We get the Ace of Cups, emotion, and we get we're not getting the full picture here, the Seven of Swords. Not at all. We get Jupiter energy, the Wheel of Fortune, and the King of Cups. I'm not sure of William's sun sign, but I feel that we're going to get news in the future. It's like her recovery is going to be up and down for a little while yet. She will eventually return from this, but this is a lot more serious than the Palace is telling us. She will be fine eventually, but I think this is a life-changing event for her. So reduced duties for the time being. Nothing for the next 3 months, and then perhaps a reduced schedule after that. She's got a road to recovery, and we all know, anyone who's had serious illness, we all know that. People are asking what this might have been. Let's see if if Spirit wants to let me know. Okay, so yeah, I feel that she could have been internal bleeding of some sort. Yeah, it was serious. Okay, well, all good thoughts and wishes to her. I don't want to hear anything negative about this girl. Show some respect, and regardless of whether you like or don't like her, or you don't want to hear about the royals. I don't care. I don't want to know. I felt I had to do that reading. So prayers for Princess Catherine, and I'll leave it at that and be back again soon. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for all your support. Bye for now.